All right. Hello and a very good morning, everyone. How you guys doing? Great. Everyone managed to take some light refreshment earlier? Yeah? Good, good, good. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the very beautiful Danau Puchong Sales Gallery over here. My name is Agnes, your host for today. And on behalf of YTLN, thank you so much for joining us on this very beautiful morning. Now, ladies and gentlemen, when it comes to property in Klang Valley, there are always new township emerging and new development launching. So I believe us as buyers, we are spoiled for choice, isn't it? But interestingly, one area that continues to stay on people's radar is Puchong. So it's a township that many Malaysians very familiar with, well established, highly connected, and it is equipped with many lifestyle conveniences. So which is why many buyers today are starting to ask a very interesting question. Is Puchong simply a mature township, or could it be the next property hotspot for the new generation of buyer? So right here in the heart of Pusat Bandar Puchong, we are seeing a new development taking shape by this serene lakeside. I think all of you can see our project sites over there, Danau Puchong. And just a stone throw away, I think over that side, is by the same developer, Lake Edge. Yep. So today we are going to explore this topic together, from market trend to what buyers are looking for today, and of course, whether Puchong still holds strong potential moving forward. And to help us unpack all of that, we have a special guest joining us today. I think many of you have seen him online, and today he's here with us. He is one of Malaysia's well-recognized property YouTuber, known for reviewing development as well as breaking down property trend. So ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Sean Tan, also known as iherng. All right, very high platform over here. There you go, your mic.
What's up, guys? Thank you for coming very early. I think the earliest talk, right, that we have done before, right? So good lah. Very good.
Okay, so everyone, are you guys ready for the talk? Yeah? Okay, without any further ado, first of all, thank you, Sean, for joining us today. So let us start with the big picture. So Puchong itself, a very well-known township for many years. So in your view, does Puchong still have strong appeal for property buyers today, especially with so many new townships emerging across the Klang Valley?
Definitely, because top 3 of my top 10 favorite place to eat is in Puchong. Even after I moved to Bukit Jalil already, my kids still request to come over to Puchong for food one. And I think the stigma, I'll just start with the stigma, is overpopulated condos everywhere, right? Where is not? A lot of people say, wow, jam lah, terrible lah, too many people lah, overpopulated lah. But what's the ingredients for a successful location for property? 2 things only, mountain, river. River, they laugh so hard. River meaning circulation, access to highways. Bukit, mountains means population. You need these 2 for a location to thrive. But then, there will always be this sense of entitlement of the earlier residents who will complain about newcomers one. And this happens in all locations. Bukit Jalil last time, it was only Andy Lau family one. Right? Then now, wow, all these new condo come, wow, they don't deserve this place one. Now you make the road too narrow. Right? But without all the newcomers, price won't go up. And if you don't have these prices to secure, you don't have infrastructure as well. And now, a cool fact, Puchong itself got 6 stations, LRT. The next biggest address is Cheras. So Cheras a bit bigger because Cheras got KL side of Cheras and Selangor side of Cheras. So when you want to partition your unit, you need to see which Cheras you are in. So that's a cool fact. And if you think about it, infrastructure already done up. As a government body, where would you focus your infrastructure on? Places with people, right? Very simple. So is there still demand? Definitely. Old timers are not moving elsewhere one. You move into Puchong already, where you want to move? And the very cliche excuse is Puchong people will always stay in Puchong only one. Cheras will only stay in Cheras one. Cheras people won't move to Puchong. Puchong won't move to Cheras one. And they all have the same illness one. One main highway that is always jammed. So they always laugh, Puchong to Puchong I also take 1 hour. Like from Kinrara, I drive to Puchong Utama 1 hour to just hand over a cake. Right? Cheras masih siang, but they all together all the same one. Okay? So it depends on how we need to deep dive one level deeper, which means Puchong. Okay, where? So the observation of Puchong is this: residential keeps growing from Puchong Utama to Puchong Prima to Bandar Putri. Last time Bandar Putri was new. Bandar Putri was too far for Puchong Utama people. Insane, right? And now I think there's still another 50% more to go. The new township by another developer coming up soon. Just when you thought it's going to be like that already, they're going to build more, right? And you see the retail refreshment rate, which means when one franchise close shop, how fast a new franchise come up? Like days. Like they can estimate the business will bankrupt one. So back to that. But with all this residential, right, where all these people eat at night? Two places only, Bandar Putri and Puchong Jaya only. Okay, so that will be the core of measurement for distance, in my opinion, to live in. If I were to work in some makes more sense to me, but if I'm in this side of PJ side, this side makes more sense. Then when we look into street, your dailies, why Puchong people can still survive although it's so terrible in Gem? You ask them why they got no, because they all use different route ma. Like here, I think I brought my wife and my kid here. And the main reason is the school. The school here, if I were to travel every day to the school, I don't need to go through the main road. So that's a benefit. And here then becomes like an empty plot where a lot of people missed out. But actually Puchong, to me, there's another 50% more to go. So we are in a very early stage of Puchong actually. It sounds crazy, but that's what happens to Mont Kiara. That's what happened to Old Klang Road. 6 years ago, I said Old Klang Road can still go another 3x. I think in density, it will be fine. Okay, so I think Puchong also all the same. Because who is sustaining all these purchases? The old school Puchong parents. They don't want their children to move elsewhere. 10% I pay for you. Every month you pay. So that is the main difference. Also, if you look into the mall, which other mall flooded already, right? The business got better. Only IOI. The whole basement gone case, right? Nothing happened. Tenants all still stay around. Unless they got correct to go pavilion. That one a whole different story. But then the one remaining in IOI, right? Very good one. And the popular sales here is one of the top in Malaysia. Okay, I say you're talking to a crazy person who go into every detail, right? That is why I think is there potential? Yes. So now it needs to tie back to the expectation of profit you want to have from the property. Will it be a landed? Nah. Right? If you want to buy, you buy Lake Edge. Opposite, that one you will make money. Confirm make money. This one, think about it first because you need to look into your rental rates and what's your mode of buying. I can go on and on. So that one, it depends on what your mode. But to me, I've stayed Puchong before. I've stayed across, should I say, along Jalan Puchong or to Old Klang Road side. So that side also not cheap already. So that's why Puchong, a lot of people who don't know Puchong only know IOI Road only. But if you are living in Puchong, right, actually that's very big. Then now if you look into a lot of medium tier developers, mass housing type along Puchong Prima side, that one sales also very good. So if you can get the same price within this side of Puchong, why not? If you want to stay here, you want to do investment, then we need to talk later. Okay?
Yeah, I think that's a strong point. So talking about, just now you mentioned about population growth. So out of curiosity, is there many from the local Puchong or from outsiders? I was wondering.
Because there's no MNCs here, people won't move into Puchong for job opportunities. So the temporary demand of space is not as established. Means how we derive rent. Rent is based on temporary demand of space. Why Bangsa South has higher rent? Because a lot of companies hiring there. So if I were to be posted to work in KL, if I'm from Penang, I will stay there 2 years and I will move on. Will I want to build a family in Bangsa South? I don't think so unless you stay the atas one. So in Puchong, will people want to come here and rent so they can work in KL? You from one gem to another gem, right? So the intention for this address is mainly for own stay first, investment second one. But then because here one thing about Puchong is all the commercial area. Upstairs is all consultant officials. Engineers, architects are all upstairs. And if you can see, that's why now Puchong Jaya, they removed the car park, become a new building ma. Everybody complain because no car park. Because if on you go there, I go there at 9 o'clock, right? Already no car park because all car parks are occupied by the user of the building only. Yeah. So in terms of temporary demand, people migrating in, not as much, but it's from internally driven. Yeah. So it's almost like, but because Cheras got a college, got university, and it's next to very different vibe. Here next to Sunway, maybe. If you work in Sunway, where do you stay?
Sunway.
Wah, Sunway you kaya ni. Wow, rich people different one, huh? We will stay in Puchong. That's the second choice, right? But then for a lot of new village, a lot of Singchun, like I'm from Tanjung Sopat, everybody stay, I stay in Puchong and everybody love Puchong. Why? Because still Chinese crowd, ma. Chinese food everywhere, ma. Yeah, so that's the only migration that I see from the outskirts coming in. But for job opportunity-wise, not as much. But property still so expensive. That's the weird part.
That is a great point about Puchong's position in this market, which leads us to the next question. So do you think that mature township like Puchong still offer advantage to buyers over new township?
Okay, it depends how new. Then we talk about Kwasa, right? Would you want to live there? Like, got nothing. You want to eat chicken rice? Good luck, man. Right? So that's how I gauge. So like, there's this weekday rule that I've implemented myself. If you want to pick a location to stay, go check out the property on a weekday, check it out on a weekend. Test out the traffic, test out where you're going to eat. Okay? Here, very direct, you know how you're going to live already. Right? You're more familiar than a developer to a certain extent. But then if you go into brand new townships, like if you move into Elmina, the whole population complains about when's the next shop lot only, right? What other townships we have? You want to compare to Bandar Sunway? Different, ma? Oh, that's why price also different, ma? So now, if you compare, like, is this a township? I think this is an OG site already, like. In the future, I foresee when a lot of people, we all just新年快乐, right? We just have finished, we all balik, Telok Intan na, balik, whatever, right? Next time people balik Puchong one, which kampong is nearby now? Let's say lah, the old guy no more already, right? Where people go back? OUG, Taman Yal, where else? KL got a few lah, kampong. Star Park, yes, Star Park. Then Puchong, a lot of old house is in Puchong one. And you see most of the restaurants in Puchong all don't close one, huh? Chinese New Year. Yeah, so when we talk about brand new township, I think it's a whole different category altogether. This is a OG site already. Last time we used to call Kampong Sungai Pipit, I think. Something like that lah. Before it was called Puchong lah. Okay? And again, Puchong very big, so I just want to focus on Pusat Bandar. Personally, I think we can go another 3x in development. A lot of people thought, not now crazy, you look into the highway, which cites me to another thing. This is a pain point, sorry. She take out the mic already. Later she kill me. Everybody, when you know the week before Chinese New Year, traffic was very terrible. Everybody complained. Developers keep building properties in KL. Nobody look at the latest car sale for January one, you know. Every month we buy 200 over 1,000 new cars, and it's okay. How many houses we built in 4 years? Okay, the biggest, highest density project in KL, 6,000 units. Take 5 years to build. You fill in 200,000 car in a month, and it's fine. Okay, so very biased one. Okay, but as a bonus, we are having the LRT station. But do you really use the LRT station? That's another consideration to make. All
right, so we know that Puchong is a very mature township, and it is very convenient. So speaking of convenience, connectivity is often a key factor when it comes to property value. So Puchong today is supported by LRT access and several major highways like MAX, Kesas, LDP. So in your opinion, how much does this kind of infrastructure influence a property's long-term value?
It's the only relevance why a location can strive. If there's only one in and out, which is the pain point for a lot of townships actually, it's a problem. Okay, I cannot name which one because all partners now, right? But you agak-agak know which one, right? There's only one in and one out from a main highway. What the whole team will be trying to look for second road, third road, which is the key point if you want to buy a project to live in. I will not only buy a project where there's only one in and one out one. If you all know where I stay already in Bukit Jalil, right? I got 3 points one. So if this one's turn right, stuck, I turn left, stuck, I go on further, I turn right again, stuck, somewhere I turn left. If all stuck, then I just go back home. Okay, so that's very important to me. But compared to a lot of projects that we have visited in the channel, there's only one way in, one way out one. That's part of the 3 things I don't like. So in my review. So is it important? Yes. But then don't overthink about TODs also. This is not a TOD. Transit-oriented development means, to me, the most ideal is the one in Kota Damansara by Tropicana Gardens. That's my most ideal format of TOD in Malaysia. Meaning, there's hotel, there's corporate office, there's mall, there's shops opposite. I can stay up there, I can take the train. It feels like Singapore, half Singapore. So you got air condition all the way to the train. That is TOD. Not like 50 meters, I need to walk under the hot sun, then maybe get robbed on that one, I don't know. Okay, some no across the highway. That one also 30 meters across the highway. Siao. So also, if you are into TODs, you want to for investment, right? Anything above $1 million, the MRT does not do anything to your value. If you have to be affording $1 million, the household income is about 18,000. You think they got no car, meh? 18,000, right? So that's why this price point becomes very, very interesting. And I've been a fan of this team's architecture for a long time, since Sentul days. If you guys are familiar with what they do in Sentul, it's always a case study for architecture students. You need to go KL Pack, you need to go Capers, you need to go Fennel, and see how the crooked building, right? So you guys know what I'm talking about now? Don't know ah? Whoa, Jalan Ipoh. If you go Jalan Ipoh, you go and eat your dim sum. I assume you're going there and eat dim sum after clubbing.
They can just go Puchong.
Oh yeah, true. Puchong got full heng. Aiyo.
Even me as a Setapa person, sometimes, weekend we drive all the way
Because
to Puchong.
of you all, Puchong people cannot eat lah. Siao one is like government take number one oh. Ding dong. 0149. Ambil number. Oh my god.
Okay. Now we have talked about the location and accessibility. So let's zoom in a little bit about the product itself. Okay. So today we are seeing quite a number of residential developments launching across Klang Valley. So is the residential property market become too crowded today?
At this segment of product, yes. Okay lah. We just close eye. I can name another 20 different projects here lah. Right? Let's face it lah. Right? But is it a bad thing or is it a good thing?
I would say good.
Oh, I see everybody quiet.
Competitive.
To me, as a buyer, it's good.
Yeah.
Because no one will go crazy on their pricing, right? But if you want to make a lot of money buying properties, then it's bad. So now, what's the variable? What's your price, your entry price, and whose homework is better? That's all. If you think you just tikam buy one, sure make money. But here, will you lose money? Hard lah. It's very hard to lose money lah. Okay, let's put it that way lah. But because that's the problem of a lot of old Puchong folks. Kids don't stay around. They want to sell their house. But if they sell already, they cannot buy back one. So it depends on which mode you are. If you are buying properties, property always expensive one. If you want to sell properties, why property cannot kick one? Okay? So it's always different narration from different parties. That's why it's very confusing until you meet Sean. So what you want? To me, like this architecture here, I'm seriously looking into the types. Okay, let's nerd down into the build design, right? Have you everyone visit the sales gallery already? The show unit already? Do you go and measure the wall-to-wall width? It's 4.3 meters, Okay, 4.3 meters, what does it mean? Can eat one? 4.3 meters, it's nothing, but if you think about the norm for the living room width is 10 feet, 2.95 meters. That is the norm. They are giving 4.3 meters. Bedrooms, norm is 2.8 meters. They are giving 3.4 to 3.5. It depends how you draw measurement. Okay? That extra few feet will mean nothing if you're an investor. Okay? Investor, I'll look into what's the median price, what's the rental rate. Right? But if as a living person, this matters. It means whether you can put in another study table in front or not. Put another side table at the side or not. Okay? But these are the things I've always complained to them. Why they don't shout one? These are the things that you can only find in upper tier architecture oriented buildings. And this is to me also wasting square feet. I don't know whether I can say it or not, but never mind. Alright. Okay, if you want to think about it. The wider my unit, right? it means the lesser unit I can compact into a tower, right? So what is the most valuable thing within a building? Is it the depth or is it the width? The width, right? So by giving more width actually means I can build less. So how a lot of investment products in KL City is very deep but very narrow. You get one living room and one bedroom. That's it. Two more bedroom, you share the void one. Hey, you cannot follow, you go watch my channel. So that is how you look, how I determine whether this is the unit that I want to live in or not. Big plus, more facade area means higher cost for aluminium and glazing. What does it mean? A 3x3 glass panel is more expensive than a 3x3 concrete or brick. Okay, so how I determine whether a project atas or not, I look at the surface area of the window. You see low cost building, all small one window. Okay, you see atas one is the whole thing, all window panels one. Triple A grade offices. That's how architect flex one. Or how developers flex, see who got money. Okay, so if you look into this project, it tells you where is it, but what's surprising is the pricing is not. So most likely they got this piece of land very long time ago. That's why they can sustain. That's all. Okay, so from a own stay point of view, then I like it's full residential. Doorstep, you got commercial area lah, like Guan Kopitiam is there lah, my kid's favorite place lah. So it depends on whether you like it. I personally like mixed development better. I like to go down, got gym, got carrying, got Starbucks, got cafe, got pub, whatever lah, right? But some people don't like. So it depends on what you want. But then here again, it's very private. So the common, since we are here, this is the best talk site ever, man. Okay, what's the most staggering thing here? The pylon, right? Yay, 100 分. But then the next one, the land filling, right? So when I came here, the best information that I've got is it's not connected. Meaning the entrance into the project is private. It won't be sharing with the neighboring plot of land. So that's how somewhat the investment will be protected. But the pylon, I don't think you can move lah. So when you pick units, you pick further away lah. That's all ma. Okay. Then the lake, because it's construction, that's why you can see a lot of debris around. But this is not your natural lake. This is the olden days mining land ma. Okay. So is it good or is it bad to have a lake? Depends on feng shui. So it depends on your party also. So you face north, face south, right? You face north, south better. South. So you need fire in your life. Okay. Okay, too deep already. Sorry.
Yeah, too deep already.
Because I also study feng shui. Okay. To me, with lakes around, it means less density. Okay. Unfortunately, we are in Malaysia. Although you have forest reserve next to you, you have school next to you, you have golf course next to you, it's not a guarantee there won't be any development. Golf course also can sell one. Mountain also can move one. Malaysia, here Malaysia upper pun boleh. And then lake also they feel, at least they feel a different part. Okay, so to a certain degree, if you like open view, this is one of it lah. But if you don't care, then never mind. What else? I can sit here all day one. Okay, never mind. Next question, please.
Okay, next one. Just now we know there's so many projects around, so maybe you can tell us what does this project stand out compared to other similar projects nearby?
Okay. Density, price, architecture. That's all.
Price, architecture.
If you compare other projects within the same size of the property, same size of land, density, this one win. Technically, they should price more, but they didn't. I don't know why. So the only reason is if you are not a property head like me, you will miss out this project launch one. Even local Puchong people don't know YTL is in Puchong. That's the truth. But my parents-in-law, Puchong, all the time one, don't know YTL is. They always thought that it's in Jalan Ismail, Sultan Ismail, Sentul side, KL Pack one. They only do all the high-end stuff for their hotels and things like that. Where got Puchong, right? That's all. To me, very straightforward. But if you want to deep dive again, architecture-wise, very, very interesting. But maybe you need to look back into the videos where I reviewed Fennel. By that time, I used iPhone 6 lah. So my face a bit bigger, so because I was fat lah. Now still fat lah, but I was like 20 kg more, I think.
Oh wow.
Wow.
No, I mean you lost a lot of weight.
If you don't know me now, then I'm still fat. But if you know me back then I'm not very thin already. So in terms of architecture-wise, I do think because they have an internal team to really look into all details. That's the only difference. So now before you go and see the unit, it's very hard to understand. And they don't showcase their corridors. Their corridor is like a special bridge to your corridor one, and they don't calculate that into your build-up one. If I'm the developer, I will calculate every damn thing and charge you money one. They don't. And their lift is not a lobby where you need to go through a door one. It's straight away walk out to a corridor, so it's less friction. If you got children around, then you don't have to keep open door, tit, open door, tit. These are the small things. If you want to raise a family, then it matters. Again, if you want an investment, let's just look at rental rates lah.
So we talk about density, we talk about price, and then one more is
Architecture.
architecture. The architecture, you have to listen to him because he has the background. Okay, so we're speaking about living environment. So one of the unique selling point here is of course, the lakeside setting. So this project is positioned around a lakeside concept, which is quite unique in an urban township like Puchong. So how much do you think that these lifestyle elements like lakeside, greenery, or water features will influence a buyer's decision in making that purchase?
If you speak to a Puchong person about lake view one, it won't stand out one. The whole Puchong lake one. If you look into Puchong map, it's all lake one. You want better lake view, you go. Okay, so it needs to be one layer deeper, which is lake view, yet with commercial convenience. Then it makes sense. Here I got another property around Puchong Prima. That one also beautiful lake view. But that one also coming up because my tenant is here. So to me, here offers lake view, but yet convenience to mall, LRT, schools, yet in a private setting. If you talk to normal Puchong flers, they don't even know how to get in. Because a lot of people, first time here, First time here. You got lost, right? Did you miss the turn?
Yes.
Confirm one. Confirm miss turn one. As a Puchong fler, you will also miss turn one. Because you don't know which U-turn.
Yes.
So if you stay in Puchong, there's this common thing. Which U-turn if you come from the Sunway, okay, the first, second, or third U-turn, you need to turn. Okay? So that's a language of Puchong flers. If you miss, you turn U-turn first, then you need to go under the bridge again, then you go through the whole miserable jam again, then you start hating Puchong already.
That's what I did just now.
So that gives a very negative stigma. But if you think about it, if you stay here, will you miss the turn? First time only, but your family will curse you for gatherings. That's all. That's the only setback, I think, for this project. The first impression, you come in, then you got the furniture showroom there, whatever, then the road system there. But it's changing, so some restaurant, some banquet restaurant supplier is building up. I went into the site, but the jaga chased me out. Right opposite. Okay. So, but then what's interesting here is actually the schools and the internal road here. A lot of people don't go in that far. A lot of people all closer to this side. Okay. So, I think that is the interesting part of this location. So, should I be very honest? The only thing why I didn't put my money to stay here is because of my son's proficiency in Mandarin. He like Ang Mo like that. Okay, my son speaks English with an accent from YouTube, not from me. He's very pure blood Malaysian. But for him, his Mandarin, he's avoiding Mandarin like nobody's business. So if I were to send him to the Chinese school here, you have a very, very tough time. So no point staying very close to a school that he's not going to go. That's all. Because that is going to set the lifestyle for the next 6 years. I think I see a lot of youngsters all don't want to have children now, but I think all parents, you all know what I'm saying. That will be your lifestyle for the next 6 years. Every day. You sick also, that day I sick, I got no voice, still need to fetch him to school. Right? I can take leave from work, but cannot take leave from him. So that's the only thing. But if you are free in terms of geographical location, you have so many other choices. So that is a good thing. How much you can afford? What do you want? Find a balance between. Okay? Another extra metric I would add to that is the 85% rule. If the rental rates that you discovered around this area can cover about 85% of your future installment, I think it's a good own stay indicator. It guarantees that you will not lose money in the future. Because the worst part is I stay 5 years already, all of us should upgrade, should work harder, right? Stop calling me workaholic, A lot of people. So, but then 5 years later, how to guarantee that there will be a rent to cover my installment if I move out from here? That 85% rule somewhat safeguards that number. Because the worst thing is, I really like the lake view, but you are the only person who likes the lake view. How? That's the problem. So a reality check is to use the rental rates against your installment in the future. Okay? If you are considering this for own stay. If I'm going too fast, again, you can refer back to the channel. Because I see a lot of very familiar faces, so they already can estimate what I'm going to answer already. Right? But if you're first timer a bit too fast, then 他讲什么?
That's a very good gauge, So we have talked about the location, we have talked about the project itself, the layout, the space, everything. For those who haven't had the chance to, have visited the showroom, please do so after this talk. So when we look at this project as a whole, the next question is, who is it really for? So who do you think this project would appeal to the most?
I think everybody. So the weird part is this. As an investor, because all my properties, all I buy for investment, including the one that I'm living in. That's why my wife not very happy. So I always look at numbers on it. But for this one, it's very interesting because of the architecture. Like when you have a room that big, why suddenly I need to treat my tenants better than I treat myself? Really?
Yeah, the living room is really big.
That's why when I go into it, so much space, I can build another 2 more units per block. Per floor, then I can build another 40 more units per block. I can either sell higher, earn more money, but they didn't do that. Why? They are branding lah. That's why it's not Sean Tan lah. So again, the worst part is when Sean Tan becomes a developer. To me, everybody. But then from an investment, we have a owner here that owns a Bandar Putri unit also. Rental is going up in this area. Local Puchongs don't like it. Very weird one. Yeah, but then if you look into, as an investor, Puchong has never been in the radar. I would invest Bukit Jalil better because more international to a certain level. So here is a seriously more local driven one. If you want, like for me, is it going to be my top 5 choices on my table? It depends on your price lah. Because based on investment, I prefer tier 1 locations. This is considered tier 2. Okay, what is tier 1? Tier 1 is Desa Park City, Bangsa South, Mont Kiara, Tutamas. Okay, where my rent, it's for my Mont Kiara unit, or you all know my Mont Kiara unit. Last time the Korean Jaulo one, halfway didn't pay rent one. In 1 month time after refreshing the unit, 6,000 now.
Wow.
Luckily he go right. I cannot go 6,000 also. So then, are you going to get 6,000 rent in Puchong?
No.
Might as well they buy already lor. So that's the limitation for a residential oriented address. You do not have expats where they only come here for temporary demand. They will come here for 2-3 years, then they will not buy one. But they really want a nice place to live in. That's Bukit Jalil. That's why my neighbor rent out 7,000. That's why my wife looked at me, no, don't even think about it. Because my money repayment is 1,900 only. Think about the losses. Think about the money didn't earn. Wow, no lah. Later I'm gonna... Sorry, my wife watched this, right? But here again, will you fetch 6,000 or 7,000 rent? Nah. Okay? But will you cover your installment? Most likely. That's all I'm saying. But if you want to invest in a location in an address where you are very familiar, then it's okay. So it's a bonus lah. If you want to stay for 5 years later, you want to rent out and it covers your installment. It's all good. So that should be the primary intent. If you want to go for really money-making properties, right? We PM tepi.
PM tepi. Okay, so I think that for buyers thinking about the future, so long-term value is always an important consideration. So what features helps a high-rise residential development remain attractive in the long run?
I think here is the contrary, meaning the facilities, right? Not as crazy one. You don't have 100 facilities. You don't have 100 different special things you can do in a condo. Because when you stay in a condo, you don't even swim.
Yes.
Right? Then you pay so much maintenance, don't know for what. Then you don't even do, nobody force you to don't use also. So that's why they keep it rather direct, rather simple, which is I like. So for long term, if you are own stay, then you like it. If you are for investment, you can make it more exciting or not. Can you have like now got one building in Oakland Road, got dolphin one, you also right? In my social media. Now the building got mushroom come out, got avatar thing come out, and we've seen very obvious examples in Mont Kiara before. So do you want that, or do you want like more simple kind of thing? But simple, then you won't have as much attention. Again, for investment, that makes more sense. So Airbnb rates will go up very high. People just want to take picture and call it a day. You want people to come to your house and take picture, meh? No, ma.
True. Correct. So
it's a very different product altogether. Then here it's seriously a home lah. Nothing too fancy, nothing to shout about. But it's that extra 2 feet in your bedroom, the extra 1 meters in your living room. That's the thing, lor.
And waking up to the view.
Oh, that one, if you got nothing to do, lah. Why you speak like you go to work, one, can open and see the view. Wow.
Just sometimes you wake up, you want to have a nice coffee, just to wake yourself up, and then you just look outside to the balcony. I think nice view is good lah to like.
Wow, this one, life without children is good. I stay next to a golf course. I don't know how it looks like. One.
Okay, so another important factor other than the long-term value that buyers often consider is definitely the developer behind the project. So how important, in your opinion, is a developer's track record for a property buyer?
It's about 60%. 60% means there's one abandoned building here, there, for years already in Kesas Highway, Subang. Okay, we all know which one. That is a result of a non-performing developer. So whether or not here today got sales or not, right, they don't care when they still build one. Okay, so cash flow is a very important thing when I was in my development office. How much sale, how much money in, how much constructed, then how much we need to top up to pay the main contractor. That's my KPI. So I force my sales team like mad. But here no need one. If sales stop today, they will still complete the project and hold one. Because this compared to their portfolio is nothing. Plus they now own internet lah, they got AI lah, whatever, right? This is like a hobby. This is how I describe them actually. I was such a passionate fanatic of their work in Sentul, but no new project one. For like 10 years already, no new project. You wait and wait. Then they want to build something. They build the Sentul depot for all the car people. For what? That's why I don't like cars also. Yeah, also you build very nice architecture, you build very nice things, but nothing will buy one. So now maybe like in the future lah. But now to me, their property development has always been like a by the way kind of thing. That's why it's very rare for this to happen. So when I say it's like for hobby, right? I think you all can see lah. In their business, right? You look into their P&L. Property is like a really. That's why you have so much land bank in KL City Centre. They just put there any. Nothing to do one. Okay, so if you have such a developer compared to smaller developers whose life depends on the project, the mode of communication becomes very, very different. Buy lah. If you don't want, I extra discount lah. Then I give you rebate lah. Then got 中秋节啦, 新年快乐 lah, whatever. All right. For this to happen is already very surprising for me. Okay, so that's the different mode lah when you see developer in styles. Some build more, some build whatever, but this one is just chill, do their thing. Okay, I my beipao whatever. But that's why they do it with style, which is very crazy in my opinion lah. That's why like as a maximalist, I want to earn as much money as possible for every inch of land. It breaks all my belief in my books. Cool fact. Okay, cool fact, because you're all here, right? I interviewed for the job before, for this developer as a site supervisor in Sentul, but they didn't hire me lah. But luckily it didn't happen. Yeah, so that was how much I like their work. I was willing to do earth work for them. That's why now it's a bit sayang really not enough people know about this developer in this location. If you just change, that's why like you look into other developers within this region, right? All very loud one. You look into their road sign, like that, right? Also, I think maybe they complain too big already. That's their style lah. It's about styles. That's why it's very rare. Do you think they're going to build more? I don't think so. No more already one. So are they going to come back to Puchong? I don't think so. So this is going to be their like one last thing already.
So after everything that we have discussed today, the location, the connectivity, the livability, and the long-term value. So what's your overall take? So is Puchong still a property hotspot in today's market? And does this Lakeside project capture the best of it?
Wow. How much you want to make? Isn't that for every asset class? How much you want to make in 5 years' time? 20%? 10%? So once you set an expectation, are there better investment assets compared to property now? Yes. But the volatility is also there. If you are into crypto as well, like the Trump coin, one day 66%. For those who done it, so in like hours, 66%. So you pay property for what? But to me, this needs to be a home first. This project is a home first, investment asset second. So again, based on that rule that I have, if you are thinking about staying here for the next 5 years, you want to upgrade into a landed or you want to move to somewhere else, Will there be tenants for this location? Definitely. Are you going to double your property in the next 20 years? 20 years maybe, 10 years, I don't know. Because of the competition around. Is this the best walking accessibility to train? No. The opposite, that one better. But do you want walking accessibility to the train?
Do you need that?
No, because it attracts a different crowd of people also. Since we touched about it, I don't know whether I should do it, but never mind. Who will stay that building? People who works in IOI, people who use the train. These are the people that you will share your lift with. Not discriminating, because I used to stay a building right opposite Pavilion. Every office hours I know one. Whatever promotion in Pavilion also I know one. Here I got Dragon Eye restaurant unit there. I got the Sushi Mentai unit there. I know the owners rent the whole unit to host their workers. So I get special price also. So these are the crowds. But then who is going to live here? If you're working in IY, you will not stay here. And people who will only stay here, they're already familiar with the location. Most likely from the neighbors, their offspring, this is not National Geography, their children will be staying here. So it's a very local driven market. People who are already Puchong people will stay here. You won't suddenly, I just stumbled upon this location, nice, I will stay here. Nah, it will not happen one. It takes a person who is very familiar. So you won't buy this property by accident one.
I think what we have discussed today, I think is very clear, the target buyer. If you're someone looking, to stay in Puchong, given that you're a local Puchong and your parents stay nearby, you don't want to stay too far for them, and you want something that is very livable, you have a lakeside view and then low dense, and then with the space and the layout, everything by a well-renowned developer, I think this will be a great choice. Yeah, and given that you are in a mature township, everything is so convenient. So I don't see why you don't.
The only thing lacking, let me tell you
Okay, please.
The only thing lacking is grade A office buildings. That's all. Puchong really lacks grade A office buildings.
Like Bangsa South.
If Ant International sets up an office here, walao eh. This is halfway feel like China already here. You go Puchong Jaya. If you don't know Mandarin, like my kid, what he write? All signboard, all Mandarin one. So then, you just think about if MNC, like if J&J has an office here, so they will go Bukit Jalil. Data centers, that's why this is like kind of thing But if it's like Bukit Jalil, then Bukit Jalil price Jalil is about double the price. Double. That's why I keep convincing my wife to buy here. My plan is every month I rent out, let's say I don't want 7,000, I rent out 6,000. I got positive 4,000. Okay? I buy this one, my money installment how much any? Right? 2,500, 3,000, right? I got still extra 1,000 plus to go eat whatever I want. That's why I keep convincing her, but she don't want because my kid don't want to speak Mandarin. 珍惜一点. So that is my internal calculation. That's why if you want investment grade, it's still the other side. But it's a whole different subcategory of pricing. Okay, Bukit Jalil, we also talk about it, which side of Bukit Jalil, okay? I'm talking about the golf course, pavilion side of things. Not the... Okay, let's not deep dive into that one.
All right, so I think we have come to the conclusion of the entire talk. So once again, thank you so much, Sean, iherng, for the valuable insights. I think many of you now have a better, clearer perspective in Puchong and what you should look out for. So before we open the floor, we do have an open floor Q&A session. Yeah? So we have some good news for everyone here today. Yeah. So for everyone who joined us here today, you will receive an exclusive 10,000 ringgit discount on selected units when you make a booking today. And this special privilege is available today only. Okay? Place booking only, man.
I didn't say it earlier.
Now made him some yo already. So, and if you'd like to find out more, of course, feel free to approach our sales team who are wearing the YTL lanyard. They'll be more than happy to assist you further. And if you haven't had the chance, which many of you doesn't, we only invite you to really check out our show unit. We have two types. We have the 2-bedroom type B and the 3-bedroom type C. So go and experience the layout, the design, like what iherng just mentioned, the space, everything, and the concept of the lakeside living. So it really offers a nice balance of serenity as well as the convenience. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, we'll move on to the open floor Q&A session. Yay! So all you need to do is to raise your hand and I will pass the mic to you and you can just state your name and your question. All right?
Find out about the package also.
Okay, the package is then with this 10,000, right? I didn't know this 10,000, okay?
Now you know.
So you match that with that 10,000.
And given that the price is actually considered very...
You better not sound like Singaporean, huh?
Okay.
Right.
So anyone who has the first questions on the floor?
Any questions?
Okay, sir,
Is landscaping important for a project?
Not as important for high rise. Very, very important for landed, especially gated and guarded. But then landscape is divided into several hardscape, softscape, and facility deck. Okay. To me, for a condo, what's more important than landscape is common area. Means the design of the car park is way more important than one plant you're going to put it in my facility deck. Agreed? Right? So then, that's why landscape is a very nice bonus, and it can be used for several reasons. One is for utility. Utility meaning if you put it at the fringe of the facility deck, it serves as a boundary so children don't jump. Okay? Then if you plant the right plants, I always tell people, I like to buy at the lowest floor next to the garden area of the facility deck. Because if the plants grow more than 4 meters, my living room and my dining room will have free foliage that's maintained by everybody. But a lot of developers will not tell you their specification for their landscape. They don't want to tell you, is it Bushida, is it whatever, they won't tell you. Okay? Then for this project, it's a bonus because that entrance is private. So it makes more sense for them to put in the money for the landscape into the project. If this project is shared by another 4 developers, nobody will put in money one. Okay? So that's why for this project, it matters a little bit more on the external part. Although it will be surrendered by MPSJ to MPSJ, but then they will maintain one because it's their residence. Yeah. So is it important? Yes, but the most no. For a condo I will want to think about what's my lobby area like, what's my entrance to car park like, what's my car park lobby like, what's my corridor like. Because landscape also, like you say, maintenance. Because how a project is deferred now in this current moment, right, is by facility deck design. If this project is water themed, then you have more water play. If this project is Japanese themed, then you have a small little pavilion next to the swimming pool. The building tower looks the same one. But what I wish more people would emphasize on, like my videos I mentioned, it's things that I use every day. Refuse chamber design. Is it naturally ventilated? Is it through a void, or I need to go through a dark tunnel just to throw rubbish? Then my car park lobby. Everybody designed the grand lobby to be the nicest thing ever, so my Grab driver enjoys. When's the last time I go into my entrance lobby? Like never. Parcel area. Is there a parcel solution ready? Okay. So then like the gym room, but depends whether you go work out or not. Then this kind of thing matters more to me as a condo compared to the landscape design. Because overcomplicated landscape, it also means very high maintenance fee.
Okay, one more.
What about arrival court, lift lobby, and lift car?
That one, unfortunately, they won't tell you the specs. How I wish I know. I wish I know. So I've done an episode where I wrote like a karangan until Instagram stopped me. Really, I got like 8 points, then they stopped me. You cannot write. Oh, you can write part 2 or whatever. Walao. So, okay, number of leaf is the only indicator for now. Will they promise the speed or waiting time? No, they won't promise the speed of leaf car. Then will they can only somewhat tell you capacity, how many people you can fetch at time. They won't tell you the programming also. So some programming is when no one use on off season, everybody stop at ground floor one. But then when you are at level 29, you gotta wait somewhat the leaf car. Then some is stayed idle at mid floor one. Then it depends on the program. But the unfortunate truth about leaf is the cost is not the acquisition and installation of the leaf. It's the maintenance of the leaf. That's where you can really tell a good developer or a not so good developer. If you have to commit, I can like almost free one, the leaf. I'll eat you alive on the maintenance package later. So that's going to be a not developer problem, but a JMB and an MC problem. And you inherit that problem. A very unfortunate truth that a lot of people don't like to talk about. So now that's why you can see for newer first-time developers, I'm a bit more pantang about the leaf choice. Because it takes experience to kena con before, then you will avoid all this kind of thing. That's why all the bigger developers, they have this advantage. And developers and the maintenance of lifts will not kacau the bigger developers because the one time I got a lot of business ma. But one time buildings kind of thing, always their lift got problem one. And why the reluctance to fix the lift always? A lot of buildings, why the lift spoiled already 1 year, half a year cannot fix. It's bloody expensive. You cannot find third party one. And it's like an unwritten rule where I cannot, like company A cannot fix company B things one. It's like I mark my territory already one. It's a big offense in the market. Nobody talks about this. That's why now I'm risking my life. No, actually. Later all the lift company, or Saturday I buy lift stop halfway. And to program the lift, one time it's like 5 or 8,000 just to program only. Because it's easy. Okay, so let's say if I'm 29, I press down. The lift, one lift is coming up, but will they stop at level 32 first to come down at 29, or will there be a separate lift to come and fetch you? All that is programming. Because some wants to save energy, save electricity. Some want to be the most effective. And this is a very big sign if you are involved with Airbnb residentials. If the unit is for Airbnb usage, because I just visited like 22 McAllisters in Penang. Peak hour, good luck, man. So that's why for residential is a very beautiful thing lah. But if it's for Airbnb, right, everybody with a luggage bag come down at 11:30, and everybody will press the lift. So it will be packed at level 32, and it will stop at every bloody floor because everybody want to come down, but everybody cannot sit one. You're full already, ma. So a lift car of maybe 12 person, you can only fit 4 person with luggage. Everybody late one. So that's the. Do you put in more lift? It's not going to solve the problem. So is it a programming thing, or is it a operational kind of thing? Yeah. Okay, I'm getting a bit too deep, but this is my observation. I can write a thesis just on different. So is it important? Very. But there are no requirement to disclose anything to buyers during construction. So if you buy sub-sale, then that's the benefit. If you buy new, then you pray. Or if you look into their track record. This one, I think, is pretty much there. That's why if you buy first-timer developers kind of thing, a bit risky one.
All right.
Very solid question.
Yeah. And I think many people learn from this because...
the nerd one.
All right, any more questions from the floor? Where? Okay.
Yo, what's up, man? Wow, long time no see. How's the food?
Hi, one question. What's your view on super high-rise building? Because, for example, we can see in China or Hong Kong, after the high-rise burned down, they start, especially Chinese government, they start limiting the height of future development up to 100 meters or below. But Malaysia, we still have a lot of high-rise building coming up, especially higher and higher. So what's your view on this for Malaysia high-rise building?
The highest I've been is like level 70. And there's two schools of thought. A lot of people buy high-rise, they want to buy the lowest floor one. They worry lift spoil. To me, might as well stay landed. If I buy high-rise, I want to stay high. And the best thing about high-rise is, to me, in the high floor is, no mosquito, no kacat one. It takes longer time to climb or they take the lift So that's why I like high-rises. And a very strong authority body in Malaysia is the fire department. And that's the nightmare for developers actually. Last time my KPI is to just siap on it for the bomba. It's the worst thing ever if you're a developer, but it's the best thing if you're a user. So if you look into brand new buildings right now, like for all the videos that I've done, right, facilities deck now is like a showroom for sprinklers. I'm serious. Last time, back then when we were reviewing, my own block also, I don't have so many sprinklers, but if you look into the brand new ones that just completed in DBKL authorities, right, every 2x2 or every 3x3 meters, you gotta have a sprinkler. So before having very nice landscape, you can look at how nice the sprinklers are. And during fire, you think the sprinkler can help me, meh? It delays the problem only, ma. Correct. So super high rise, then I don't think there's that many actually. Maybe 10 in KL City Centre. And in KL City Centre, it's important to be super high rise. If in Mont Kiara, it's either you are level 22 and above, or you just pick somewhere else. Because it's dark one. If you pick in the wrong location, especially the Stoner area, Jalan Stoner, right? Very weird. You can see a lot of land, but all other people's one. Then you have 3 or 4 blocks all crumpled together one. Okay, you go back and look into the Jalan Stoner, the projects all there. That is when the location of your height matters the most. So that's why when you look into sub-sale, right, sometimes level 28 and 29, the difference is 20 to 30,000 one. Sub-sale and not during launch. Because one is you get the lift service area. One more level, you get a golf view across KLCC. But in terms of safety-wise, I think the Hong Kong one is just one time. But like if you're into feng shui also now, Jiu Yun, Li Huo Yun, right? Then what, Crimson Horse, whatever, goat, right? Is it true? Yes. Like fire is happening everywhere, war is happening, AI is going to explode, whatever, right? If you're scared, then maybe have a safety precaution. Also, like in my house, I got the fire blanket. There's a mask, then extinguisher. Then I got the different type, powder type, whatever type, right? So I thought like my wife, I think, are we going to war or whatever? My wife more paranoid than me. And the thing is this, like how severe fire problem in Malaysia. If the Locheng ring, will you run? Testing one lah. That's how safe we are. Like, okay lah, like car alarm ring, right? Hey, I think people didn't off or press wrong button. You would think about car theft, man. You get what I mean? And the thing about this is also about how social media reacts to news very differently. Do you still remember about sinkholes? Why nobody talking about it already? It was the biggest thing. KL property price will halve if the sinkhole is not resolved. Got me? Right? Then you got fire. Why is it all non-compliance one? Got me? So if you are not a deep thinker, you just react, right? One-liners, right? Then you are very confused on whether to buy a property or not. For example, discrimination on tenancy. Big news, these few days, right? Because we multiracial. Or in Puchong, non-Chinese is discriminated. You go Bangi, Chinese are discriminated. You go certain area. But then when as news, my business is what? To get people to focus on it, to click on it, then I got ad money. And that's how things are stirred in Malaysia. Like property news, or property were terrible, were bad. Like now got bad news in the world, right? Or property price will plummet. Everybody will support me on this video. So you can see a lot of other creators or Malaysia property is going to crash. I have a series, I didn't publish okay, of everybody who say property price will drop, and none of it happened. None. Weird one. Oh, our property price, you will lose 600,000, right? But then the person who make the video buys a 3 million property. You tell people it's bad to buy properties, then you buy a 3 million one. What are you trying to say? Right? So that's narration. Right? They have their agenda why they're doing things. But then from a realistic point of view, you look into authorities, you look into safety-wise, building in Malaysia is very, very difficult one. That's why now my fear is less and less people will be developer. That's my biggest fear all time. If the whole development segment is monopolized by only the 6 top players, we are doomed. The biggest fear is when a development is built based on hobby. I don't need your money one. So now all big players, they don't even take bridging loan anymore. Okay, what is bridging loan? If I'm a developer, I got land, I go and borrow from bank, I charge this land, I want money to hire main consultant, then I start development. When a developer don't need to have this, right? There's no urgency for giving better price really. And what's the trend now? A lot of big players all built for investment, meaning I build elements to hold. If I'm building a township, why I want to sell all valuable lands? I should build all my malls, my offices, and I rent out only, I won't sell. Because the more I build, the more the value will go up. Why must I sell to you? Then you complain, why here more messy, here whatever, right? Actually now there's a trend, but this one, okay, since it's public already now. But then it's a thesis that where I'm noticing all big players, right, all building things to hold, not sell. That's how Hong Kong empires are built. None are for sale one. You build for cash flow, 1 or 2 enough already one. When you don't need money already, all go into REITs already one. Jang. Right? Just think of yourself, like if you have 1,000 acres, you're going to be there for the next 40 years. You're going to make sure that your piece of land will be there. Right? So there's a lot of examples which I shall not name. You all also know which one already. You will build your own medical center, your own whatever. You build. Then the prime land, yours. Only makes sense, You know, I sell the prime land, I go and finance all the second, third tier kind of land. No point, Okay, they have venture a bit too far, right?
Yeah.
But you see where I'm going. So in terms of super condo, I don't think there's any. But clear example, always I like to look at Hong Kong one, right, is how ridiculously cheap is our property in Malaysia. Their car park is our condo in KLCC, and we're still complaining. And you look, right, that's why I like to react to all international videos to look in how they stay. Got one video is where you sleep next to your toilet bowl and you cook above the toilet bowl. Insane. And they charge like 2,000 rent. Here with 2,000 got 3 unit, you're expensive, eh? Right? Of course, like then your salary, like your tax different, of course. But in terms of quality of living, right, we got so much options in Malaysia. So like just like in Puchong as well, like you want super high end, got there above the hill, there. I don't know here can see or not. My friend got one, wow. Go in, you open the boot lah, open this lah, check my IC. Yeah, tengok kawan saja lah, bukan tengok raja lah. Right? Then you still have all the old houses here. So the range is very nice. Yep.
So I hope that answer your questions. Any more questions from the floor? All right.
Hi.
Hello. Wow, you're so cool.
Okay.
I need to look through the pillar.
Just want to ask a question which is
I see here lah.
not related to Puchong. It's more on the down south, JB. I don't know whether you have done any.
Suddenly down south, I scared. Is it this one?
I don't know whether you've done any
A lot.
study on JB because by next year the RTS will be operating.
Yep.
So like you say,
You got buy or not?
prices in Hong Kong
Ah,
is comparable to Singapore, right?
no.
No?
No.
Okay.
But we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it.
Yeah. Okay. But anyway, what's your view of the properties, prospect in JB after the RTL?
RTS.
Yeah, RTS, yeah.
Okay.
RTS, right. Thanks.
For clarity, did you buy any? Got lah.
Yes.
Yes, okay. No, I just want to know the perspective only. RTS, everybody know what's RTS, right? The biggest thing in JB lah now. To me is this. I think 1,001 to 1,002 is the right pricing in my books. Calculating the room rental, because one room in HDB across Singapore is 1,000 average, 900. So if I want to live in Malaysia, it only makes sense if it's 500 to 600. So for a 3-bedroom unit, it's 1,008. Then you reverse calculate, that will be the price per square feet. That makes sense. Okay? But in the market, easily you close eye, there's another like 18,000 units coming up. Are there proven records? No. Because this is the first time we cross country into an ultra high income nation. Never seen before. So, 2 ways to go about it. One is like secure the lowest price unit possible in the hottest location. That's one strategy. The other strategy is to go to the second link. That's where I'm in. So my latest unit, if you have followed, I don't know whether you follow my Instagram or not, but that is where I make a lot of money. Okay, why? What's going to happen if RTS is... Do you think RTS is going to be successful? I think so, right? What's going to happen if it's successful?
What's going to happen?
RTS2?
It's going to be a mess without the dispersion traffic ready.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
You are right. Keyword dispersion.
Yeah.
So dispersion from that hot area to the rest of JB,
Correct.
where it sticks, where it all sticks to coastal area one ma.
Yeah.
Goes into the place that I love and hate, Iskandar Putri, Medini. So last time we spoke about, there's 2 failed examples of township in Malaysia. One is called Cyberjaya, the other one is called Medini. And because of the stigma, all existing developers who have built before throw price. Then who pick up? And I picked the one at like almost half price. But the rental rates there is about 4,000 to 5,000 per unit. My monthly installment is half of it only. I should buy the whole block lah, but no money lah. So that takes a little bit more research work, which is the second approach that I would encourage more people to do. Because in JB, if you go into that main one, RTS area, the competition is stiff and it's not proven. So we don't know. But would you want to put your money in uncertainty, or I want to put into something that for sure make money already? Okay? Then in JB, if you want to buy more, just buy shop lot, sure make money. Right? Shop lot, every shop lot in JB all make money. Right? It's like they got nothing to do. Right? So I've been to Permas a lot. I've been to Senibong a lot. I've been to Iskandar Putri a lot. Factories are also insane in JB. I go to a launch. So that one accidental one. I see one project there, my friend meet me, hey, we got launching tomorrow. Come by lah, okay lah. The project is starting 3.8 million. Highest price, 18 million. Pre-launch, cannot buy one, pre-launch only, 300 people. And everybody with a checkbook one. So then only like I realized the recipe of success, to not have hair. Because I look at your hair, so healthy, right? So when I look at them, I take picture from the back, all the uncle, wow, you look at how they dress, like you only one. Rich people look like that one. Nothing one, don't care one. They report to nobody, ma. But the cars outside the show, the sales gallery is like a showroom. And in JB, we're talking about JB. Wow, their car massive, all big one. Then all people are like, factory, I got 3 I got 5 You take loan or not? Maybe think about it 18 million. Think about it. So factory in that area is, I would suggest you can go there better if you can. Then, so we spoke about RTS area. You need to be the cheapest in the hottest. It's either walking distance to RTS or everything else. No point 10 minutes, that one 18 minutes, that one 20 minutes, doesn't matter. It's either it's walking connection or everything else. Okay? So it's either you put your money in the core itself. That's why Sunway, they don't know what they want to do yet. Everybody estimated 3,000 per square feet. I don't know. But if they don't need your money, like whatever lah, right? So, but then like if everyone else buying at 1,300 per square feet, my unit is half price on that, less than half from that, away from it. So a bigger news than RTS is, okay, this assumption needs to be RTS is a success. Then the dispersion link. There's a dispersion link. What is it called already? The track station. What? ART. Yes. Wow. Thank you. ART is trains on wheels. They're going to get from East Malaysia, also the same contractor. Same supplier, not contractor. That is going to connect the rest of the dots. And do you think there will be RTS2? Where is going to be RTS2? Do you think then Malaysia pula, the KL to JB one, what is it called?
ETS,
High Speed Rail, HSR. Wow. Good, we have all people who do homework come here. HSR, do you think it will connect? And if it connects, where it will connect to? The little island.
Yeah.
So now, I like to think on the contrary. Everybody likes that spot that you bought. I like to think about the little island one. Why? I saw how a Taiwanese sell to a Hongki about the little island property. We all talk like, wow, rental cannot cover no people whatever, right? Do you know there's an entrepreneurial hub there that's going on? Or Angmo one there. Oh, you're a creator, you should join us. Like, huh? Or Angmo fitness, wellness, all there in that little island. Then there's this tax incentive, 10% flat rate at 10 or 5% only.
Financial.
Yeah.
Financial economic zone or something like that.
Correct.
Right.
If you are paying at 24 to 26%, by buying the property, you save half the tax. In 5 years' time, the property is free already. Right? So suddenly, we still look at rental rate you still think whatever, right? This gives you permission. That's why a lot of people of family, office, all trying to move in. Whether they want to move in or they just buy, pretend they move in at least right? And one is about 600,000 to 700,000 only If 700,000 is their annual tax filing, why not? Suddenly wow, nobody thinks about that So when one news is too hot and too obvious, everybody know how to play the game. So it's either you take the best deal or you're the fastest to make money Or the approach that I like is the contrarian. When everybody go to this side, hey, what's happening here? Then only I deep dive. Then only I know how crazy rich Johorians are. They earn Sing dollar and stay in Johor. And from a corporate level, not a Da Kong Zai level. So the dynamics there is a little bit more unique in a way. Like the story that I always share is I own a landed next to the second link also. So my tenant takes a motorbike to Singapore every morning. But during the weekends, he drives a Velfire around. So my tenant now keep asking me whether I want to sell the unit or not. Because the only risk that happened is lockdown. Lockdown really shaken the whole market. My friends in Johor, 2 years, 0 sales. But for all those who have survived, means what? Their pocket very deep. Okay, one more observation I'll share. I promise one last observation, okay? Although there's like 7 to 8 projects launched around RTS area, think about landowners. It belongs to like 2 landowners max. So it's one landowner, JV, built myself. Suddenly, when people, okay, this year will be a good year, oversupply already. So it's an orchestrated move to a level where even local authorities didn't see. And now it's very, very hard to get approval in JB already. Yep, if you are in that area, if you build somewhere anywhere else, it's fine, only that area. But if you bought anything, like if you buy less than 1,000 per square feet, you should make money. But you buy anything more, then it depends on how big and where is it.
All right, I hope that answers your questions. So I think we have less than 5 minutes left. Do we have maybe one final question from the floor? Okay.
This one got notes one, scary.
Yeah, hi, iherng. So, in some areas, right, there's a lot of new private condo are built among near existing those low-cost apartments. So from an investment perspective, would the presence of this lower-cost residential development be a concern in terms of property value, rental demand, or even though long-term appreciation? Plus point, this actually located like nearby have those like existing shopping malls and hospital nearby.
Bukit
Other
Where?
some way.
Somewhere. Oh, I know which way it is. Okay, first of all, you gotta think why they are built there. Why they are built in such a location. Compare one next to a low cost, one next to a golf course. Which one which one higher price, right? 唔使講啦, right? I 都本冇呢啲 right? But everybody knows the rule, but why did they still build next to the low cost? No more land, okay? At that scenario, it's not like you have a choice. The way you write, you think that you have a choice. Oh, I can pick. So you can always pick the one next to the university, but the price will be 3 times higher. So that is the ultimate rationale of this comparison. At this price, next to the low cost, can the rental cover installment, or am I paying a premium or discount based on the median price? You get what I mean? So that should be a bigger, not that whether the low cost will affect or not. I also know will affect lah. But at what price I'm willing to get affected Okay? So, low cost also got different infrastructure one. Some is local driven, some is foreign expat driven. Different continent one. So, which one is it? Because I prefer those without cars one. So some low cost area, if you're talking about Setapak one, there's a master plan that is surrounded, the entrance is all low cost one. That one all local market one. So they say they stay low cost, but all type R one. Real type R or no, I don't know lah. The Civic, right? You can see all the cars, all roadside car park next to the entrance into the township. But if it's like a Bangsa South type, or like a Bukit Jalil type, they walk to their place of work. So in terms of car park, it's still bad, but not as terrible. So there's a degree to severity of the effect, of the consequences of the low cost. Okay? I talk a lot already just to justify one thing only. Can the rental cover installment? Yeah, because you're looking at all the students' rate, 6,000, 7,000 per rate, right? That's how the developer is selling as well. So maybe as a precaution, I will take a discount of that rate. Instead of 2,000 surplus per month, are you okay with 800 per month? Also not bad, Then, are there better locations? Or are there better options? Should I buy sub-sale instead? If no money, then too bad, that's the only option. You need to buy new, right? So that's a better way of thinking, right? Will affect or not? Definitely will affect one. To how much it will affect, okay? We have seen like a classic example, Bangsa South, the estate, next to low cost, right? Before and after VP, 60% appreciation. Because the low cost entrance is different, right? So that's why Malaysia real estate, right? There's a rule, don't have one. I got other examples where it's terrible also. And in that area, it's very curated, it's very controlled. So it's also a good point, meaning the master developer takes a lot of care in infrastructure works. Okay? So you book already? Thinking lah. Okay, a good comparison will be the one opposite Kasas Highway, next to the international school. Correct? There's one more coming next to Damen, a continuation phase 2 that's coming. I haven't seen it yet lah. I haven't seen it. You got pricing already? They haven't released to me yet lah. Yeah lor. So do your homework first. You're speaking to a sort flirt, so I know everything. Across Sunway also got what? Taylor side, still got one more. Comparing that, or you want to compare to the one next to the temple? The fact that a lot of people know what I'm saying, right? You all also sort one, You all really whole day property only. Okay? So, are there better options? Yes, but it depends on which buying channels you are in. New, sub-sale, auction, bulk purchase. Now you're only looking at new. That's why choices are a little bit more limited. May I suggest to open up a little bit more, provided whether you got resources or not. Okay? So because I have all those, I got better alternatives. Is it a terrible purchase? No. Is it the best purchase? No.
All right. Thank you so much, Sean. And thank you for the questions as well. I think we have come to the close of today's discussion. So ladies and gentlemen, can we please once again give Sean a big round of applause? Yeah, and so thank you everyone for joining us today. So before I let everyone to go enjoy the refreshment, allow me to once again make a quick reminder for everyone here today. So all attendees today are eligible for an exclusive 10,000 ringgit discount on selected units when you make a booking today. So if you'd love to find out more, feel free to reach out to our sales team who are wearing the YTL lanyard. And we also warmly invite you to visit our Danau Puchong show unit over here if you haven't already. We have the 2-bedroom type B and 3-bedroom type C. Experience the concept, the design, the layout. And for more information, the Danau Puchong Sales Gallery is open from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. every day. So if you would love to bring your family, your friends, to check out, feel free to come anytime. And yeah, once again, thank you so much for joining us. I hope all of you have a wonderful day and hope to see you here in Danau Puchong very soon.
Yeah. I'll be see here lah. You're going to talk more, then we can talk off-cam stuff.
All right, thank you everyone. Thank you so much. Thank you. Have a nice day.